What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan!
and today we're being jolly as we get ready to ring in the holidays and the new year with another For the Greater.
Happy holidays, guys. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. We also have super thanks, so if you guys enjoy the channel and you want to support the channel, you can by sending us over a super thanks, which is what
FoQ380 has done. His super thanks is, yes, Commissar, this channel right here.
Oh, and we're going to get got.
The gotting has already begun. But since that wasn't a question, we will move on to the actual question of the video. But thanks, Hugh, for those super thanks and for letting the Inquisition know of our location.
Yes.
So the question here is from none other than Donkeysaurus 781.
That's an awesome name.
Don't you have a Donkeysaurus on your Christmas sweater?
Yeah.
The question is, can women join the penal legions?
So women in the Imperial Guard. You have a very specific question, and that's penal legion. So let's explain what the penal legions are.
Keep saying penal.
Penal. It's basically if a world was just a giant prison, and the Adeptus, what is it? Well, basically the Imperial Guard went in there and recruited from that world specifically. That's what they are.
Yeah.
You get a second chance at life, or from serving your time in a penal world, by fighting for the Emperor and dying for the Emperor.
Right.
So the answer is yes.
Yes. Because obviously, if you're in a prison planet, they're going to take prisoners from anybody. Doesn't matter if you're man, women. They're going to take you to do either menial labor or whatever the prison needs to be done, and then you could say, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to die in this prison. Might as well die for the Emperor.
Right,
so
yeah.
if you're any type of like religious fanatic, boom, now's your chance to actually join the Emperor in his army of the light after you've done your time.
Yep. You repent. But really, like, it's that hope of, like, oh, maybe I'll survive. You won't. It's the Imperial Guard.
Right. Oh, maybe I'll be able to desert. Nah. If they show any signs of revolt or any sign of, like, not listening to your commissar, boom.
Commissars.
Just like Folk Hugh is trying to do to us.
Right.
They will get got.
Kill us. But to answer, like, the main point, are women in the Imperial Guard? Can women be recruited into the Imperial Guard? Yes.
Yes. We actually have a new, not replacement, but kind of replacement for Creed in Ursula Creed, his daughter. So we have a named character that's pretty high up in the ranks, being a woman. We've seen artwork and illustrations of other women, such as being Cadians and stuff like that. So yeah, there are women in the Guard. It's just for the longest time, all the minis, all the models were just dudes.
Right, yeah. Good question, though. Let's move on.
This next one is an interesting one by the big one. How do I get to a place where there are no more lies and infidelities in my relationship? There's something called trust, and I don't have it.
You have to perform rituals, sacrifice goats,
Sacred oils, candles,
pray to the Omnissiah,
altars.
Yeah. Or just be honest with the person, and then if they're not honest with you, just leave.
Right.
This next question comes from the Big Boss Pew. 3 questions that must be asked. How many Necron strongholds are active? So that's constantly changing, right? And it depends on what, because like with 40K, you are playing in an era. You're not really playing at like the end of the timeline or whatever. You could be playing during the what was it with Gilliman?
Indomitus?
The Indomitus Crusade, the Plague Wars. You can be fighting within, like, back when it was the Eye of Terror was still around, before the Cicatrix Maledictum. So currently, the number is unknown. It's way more than it was before.
Oh yeah, a lot of Tomb Worlds are getting woken up, considering that the Silent King has returned.
Right.
And not just that, but certain worlds just get exterminatus, and it might have been a Tomb World, but we never know because it got, erased. Yeah. So it's always changing. But for the most part, they're starting to ally and group up and fight for the Silent King's cause.
Right, yeah. And also keep in mind that, like, because that question kind of feels like you are a lore enthusiast, but coming from it from, like, a narrative perspective of, like, remember that GW and the way that Warhammer 40K is set up is for you to create your own Necron dynasties. So the question is, like, I don't really know. Like, even with Space Marine chapters, technically there's 1,000.
Yeah,
but there's probably more. So yeah, keep that in mind. Now let's go on to the next question you have. How much manpower is left for the Imperium of Man? That's a really weird question.
Yeah, there's a lot. No matter how many worlds die out, no matter how many xeno races just exterminate humans, humanity has overpopulated the galaxy at this point.
Yeah.
There are untold billions upon billions, and that's just in the Imperial Guard. Yeah. The thing that keeps humanity going is just numbers, because when they're fighting a war, it's usually a war of attrition. Just throw guardsmen at enemy, and eventually they'll come out on top.
Right, yeah. Also, keep in mind that, like, there's a lot of planets that are for the purpose of just building or creating manpower.
Yes.
So Death Korps of Krieg is a good example of, like, they're pumping out so many soldiers that most of them are still children. So the Death Korps of Krieg is that extreme.
Yeah, and they're usually vat grown or clones.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Because the Adeptus Administratum doesn't want to know that.
Right. So if the Inquisition is listening to our channel, thanks, Q. We did not just say that the Kriegsmen are clones.
No, we are not snitches, because they get stitches. Next question comes with, or this is the third question. Which one, with one Primarch back, which one will most likely be next? Who knows?
Yeah.
I really thought we were going to get a Loyalist Primarch during the holiday season.
But no, it's like we got Guilliman, and then it's been Mortarion, Magnus, and now it's going to be Angron.
Yep.
That's a 3-to-1.
I know.
And it's not like...
The balance is off.
Yeah. For the longest time, people keep saying, oh, it's going to be Leman Russ. No, it's going to be the Lion. At this point, it could be anybody.
I bet it's going to be Sanguinius.
As long as not Mitio Luis, because he's still locked up and he stabbed a person, so he should be locked up. He shouldn't come back as a Primarch.
Yes, but he stabbed someone during a 40K game, and it was back in 5th edition when you had the wound allocations.
Right.
So it's understandable.
And he was playing Tau against Grey Knights, and at that point the Grey Knights had a plasma siphon rule, so basically his whole army couldn't do any damage, so he had to do the damage.
Exactly, by stabbing the man.
Right.
Next question.
How soon before the Eldar mobilize against Lanesh?
Well, they've been trying to, and that's kind of what the Harlequins are. Like, the Harlequins worship the Laughing God, and the Laughing God's whole thing is, like, what is it, the Great Play, or like the End whatever? And it's basically just a way to kill Slanesh.
Yeah, the Rana Dandra.
There you go.
Yeah. And so it's like a troop, and they do all these performances to teach other Eldar how to beat Slanesh. But then the Eldar is just like, dude, that was like 3 hours of dancing. You could have just told me this over an email.
Yeah. Because the Eldar have email.
Yeah.
It's Wraithbone email, but it's email.
Number 5. If the orcs are numerous, how far spread out are they?
The entire galaxy. The whole thing, if you read the Codex, is that every single corner of the galaxy that humanity has explored, orcs have been there.
Yeah. Like rats.
Yeah. But, like, really mean rats. Like, so giant.
Like biker mice from Mars.
There you go. That's basically what the orcs are. Biker mice from Mars.
And then the last question from Boss Hun 9 is, can the Tau make an impact on the galaxy?
Yeah, they are.
With their spheres, they weren't really impacting the galaxy as a whole. They were basically just spreading out from their main homeworld. But with the introduction of the Star-Tide Nexus and basically creating a wormhole, then they're influencing more galaxy, and I guess at the same time more immaterium, with the maybe or maybe not creation of a demigod / god, the god of the greater good.
And since, now that we have the Amnesiah, or not the Amnesiah, what's the new Chaos God?
Vastor, the Archiphane.
With him, more than likely we're going to get more gods, more minor gods. But those are the questions then.
Yeah.
If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us, and thank you for the super thanks.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying your Christmas time and other festivities, and let us know what you guys want Santa Sanguinius to give you guys.
Comment down below.
Yeah, this has been the Sound Alchemist,
Gershwan,
and we are ho ho Oh, that's it.
Always used to put my freedom first.